member of the House of Lords. Lord Taylor, thank you so much for coming to speak to me.
Hello, Laurence.
How are you doing?
I'm fine. Good. I know your father, great actor.
Oh, he is a great actor. I'm all right too.
You're not bad.
Back in the day. So what do you make of this U-turn? Have they shot themselves in both feet?
I think the mood of the conference is don't panic. And
not a good mood.
It's either don't panic or Titanic. It'll be one or the other. There was a great character, a comedy character, Lance Corporal Jones in Dad's Army. He used to say, don't panic, Mr. Mannering. And I think that's the mood of the conference. I agreed with the general thrust of let's grow the economy. But there's there's a saying, old keys don't open new doors. And what they're trying to do is shoehorn this thing through without taking the party and the country with them.
What is this thing?
Well, this thing is about the fact that the economy has been stagnant for several years. And Kwasi and Liz Truss are trying to revive the economy. But they're not doing it in a way that brings people with them. You can't just force people into change. You need to explain the change and bring them with you. And it's the communications, the optics. I agree with this whole thing about, capping the energy bills, obviously, reducing the national insurance, but then to bring in reducing tax for millionaires at the same time, and then removing the bonuses for bankers. I mean, that was bonkers, frankly.
But to be fair, on a purely philosophical level, and this is just me looking at life,
yeah.
Taking 45% of anybody's income, to me, seems like quite a sizable amount. Taking 50%, 40% is quite a sizable amount. Is there an argument to be said that this whole thing has been hijacked by a certain group in the media to criticise the Tories, say, oh, well, look, it's tax savings for the rich, but the rich are already paying a huge amount of tax.
I understand that, but, being right isn't always enough. You do need to explain why you're doing something. And it spooked the markets. The fact that Kwasi didn't consult the OBR, he sacked the main official at the Treasury on day one, and the markets are thinking, what is he doing? You need to bring people along with you. It's about trust and confidence.
Do you think that that the Tories can move on from this, or is this completely hamstrung Truss's new regime?
They've been in power for 12 years, and there comes a time...
But she's been in power for 12 minutes.
Yeah, but she was a minister for several years. She's part of... It's not really new, it's a continuation. And some people are almost having buyer's remorse. Should we bring Boris back? I think that would be a mistake. Now, what they need to do is explain what the plan is. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And they haven't explained the plan.
It seems to me that the plan is to go, we're about to face a winter of of absolute discontent with energy bills, fortunately now captured, capped at the cost of £150 billion to the economy. That seems like a good spend. Yeah. But also this idea that the Conservative government, who should lead on principle, really, and on the principles of conservatism, that they are able to change fiscal policy on the back of a few days of bad headlines, seems to me a Conservative government which isn't being led on principle by, we had years of Boris Johnson going, well, you must all knock down while getting drunk. Yeah. And now we're looking for a Conservative leader who isn't in the thrall of CCHQ, and we seem to have one that is.
It's the optics. It looks bad. It makes it look as if you're punishing the poor and looking after the rich. Also, it was not going to get through the parliamentary party. We'd have to go through Parliament. There's no way that would have been voted through to favour the rich, and they realised that. In many ways, it was inexperience. I just hope it's not kamikaze Kwasi.
Kwasi, I love it. So how did the Conservatives restore confidence in themselves?
By talking to the country, not talking at the country, explaining that we are in a mess. They understand that life is difficult for many, many people, that energy cap on the bills was great, but, let's look after the poor who can't help themselves. It's not their fault that the price of energy has gone up. Look after the whole nation, not just the guys in the city.
And just as that sounds very sound to me. And just as a final question, what are your thoughts on Black History Month?
I'm more in favour of Black Future, because Black History Month is almost saying, right, for the month of October, we're going to, think about black people. And then in November, we forget them. It's part of our whole history. My father was from Jamaica. He fought for Britain in the Second World War. For Britain. Yeah, part of our history. But I just think that, Black Lives Matter, well, it's a business. It's political.
Ponzi scheme.
It is. It's I'm not a victim. I'm a victim.
No, you're not. You're a lord.
Exactly. And when I came into the House of Lords, I was the only black lord out of 1,800. And on my second day in the House of Lords, one of the elderly viscounts asked me to get him a gin and tonic because he thought I was the waiter. Now, I could have responded in anger and so forth, but you know what? We became great friends. Yeah, that's the way. Build bridges, not walls.
Black Future Month, ladies and gentlemen. What a good idea. Table the motion.
Absolutely.
Please,
Today.
Black Future Month.
Today.
Thank you. That's really got me. Lord Taylor of Warwick, member of the House of Lords.